There's no sunlight hitting this garden, not a single direct ray. It's tucked under a canopy of trees, sandwiched between two buildings, sitting in permanent shadow. And yet, look at it. Lettuce, spinach, kale, peas, radishes, all of it thriving. How is this possible? Because everything you were taught about growing food is only half the story. This isn't new. Japanese farmers have been growing food under forest canopies for over 1,000 years. It's called Satoyama cultivation, a relationship between forest and food, shadow and sustenance. Medieval European monasteries, sealed behind thick stone walls, starved of sunlight, fed entire communities from their shaded courtyards. Ancient Roman gardens built in atriums, interior spaces with almost no direct sun, produced herbs and leafy vegetables year-round. NASA studied low-light crop cycles for space agriculture. University of Vermont Extension Services have entire research programs on shade-tolerant food crops. This is not fringe. This is not folk wisdom. This is horticulture, and it's been quietly working for centuries. So why don't most gardeners know this? Because the gardening industry sells sunlight, grow lights, sun trackers, south-facing raised bed kits, greenhouse panels. There's almost no profit in telling you that the shady corner by your fence, the one you've been ignoring for years, is actually perfect growing space. There's no product to sell you for shade. And then there's the school garden curriculum, the textbooks, the advice columns. All of them repeat the same rule. Vegetables need full sun. And that's true for some vegetables. But for these 11, that rule is completely wrong. Look around your outdoor space right now. I bet at least 30% of it never gets more than 2 or 3 hours of direct sun. Maybe it's the corner next to your fence. Maybe it's the strip beside your house. Maybe it's under that old tree you keep meaning to cut down. You've looked at those spots and thought nothing will grow there. But here's the thing. You've already seen plants growing there. Weeds, moss, ferns. Life always finds a way. The question isn't, can something grow there? It's, what's the most useful thing you can grow there? And that's exactly what we're about to answer. Here's the simple science. Plants make energy from light through photosynthesis. More light, more energy. That's the basic rule. But leafy vegetables? They're not trying to build massive fruits or heavy seeds. They're just trying to make leaves. And leaves don't need nearly as much energy as tomatoes or squash or corn. Think about it. A spinach plant's entire goal is to grow flat, broad, light-catching leaves. In full sun, that process overheats. The plant panics. It bolts, shoots up a flower stalk, and the leaves turn bitter and useless. In partial shade, it's calm. It grows slow and steady. The leaves stay sweet. The roots stay cool, the moisture stays in the soil longer. Shade is not the enemy of these plants. For them, shade is the ideal condition. So here they are, 11 vegetables that thrive where the sun doesn't shine. Number 1, spinach. It needs only 3 to 4 hours of indirect light. In heat and full sun, it bolts within weeks. In shade, you can harvest it for months. Direct sow, thin to 4 inches apart. Number 2, lettuce. Every variety, romaine, butterhead, loose leaf. Shade keeps it from bolting, slows the bitterness, extends your harvest window massively. Plant in clusters, cut and come again. You'll have salad all season. Number 3, kale. Slower growing in shade, but richer in flavor. The leaves become more tender, less fibrous. Plant once, harvest for years. Minimal care required. Number 4, Swiss chard. Almost impossible to kill. Handles deep shade better than almost any other vegetable. Its stems store nutrients. Its leaves grow wide to catch every available photon. Plant it, forget it, harvested. Number 5, arugula. Full sun makes arugula unbearably spicy and tough. Shade mellows it, gives it that nutty, peppery complexity you want. 40 days from seed to plate, one of the fastest crops in this entire list. Number 6, radishes. They mature in as little as 25 days. They love cool, moist soil, exactly what shade provides. Plant them as a border crop, as a gap filler, as a living mulch. They will never disappoint you in a shady spot. Number 7, peas. Sugar snaps, snow peas, shelling peas, they all tolerate partial shade. They actually prefer cooler temperatures. A shaded trellis against a north-facing wall is a pea plant's paradise. Number 8, mint. Technically an herb, but practically a vegetable by how much you'll use it. Mint in full sun gets leggy and stressed. In shade, it spreads, it thickens, it gets intensely aromatic. Plant it in a container because it will take over. Number 9, sorrel. Almost nobody grows this, almost everybody should. A perennial leafy green with a sharp, lemony flavor, comes back every year, grows happily in deep shade, one of the most underrated plants in existence. Number 10, Asian greens, bok choy, tatsoi, mizuna. These crops evolved under the canopy of Asian forest gardens. Shade is their home. They bolt almost immediately in full sun. In partial shade, they form perfect tight heads and stay productive for months. Number 11, beets. Here's the surprise entry. Beets won't grow their roots as large in full shade, but their greens are some of the most nutritious leaves you can eat, and those grow beautifully with just 3 hours of light. You get a 2-for-1 crop in a space you thought was worthless. Here's what most people get wrong. Mistake 1, planting shade lovers in total darkness. There's a difference between partial shade, 2 to 4 hours of filtered or dappled light, and complete darkness. Even shade-tolerant crops need some light. Under a thick deck with 0 ambient light, that's not shade gardening, that's a cave. Mistake 2, ignoring soil quality. People assume shaded areas have bad soil. Sometimes they do, especially under trees where roots compete for nutrients. Amend with compost deeply. Your plants will reward you. Mistake 3, overwatering. Most shaded soil dries out much slower. Most beginning gardeners water on a schedule and drown their shade crops. Check the soil with your finger. Water only when the top inch is dry. Mistake 4, using full sun varieties. There are specific cultivars bred for low light performance. Seek them out. Arctic King lettuce, Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, Sugar Ann peas. The variety matters. Start small. A 4 by 4 foot shaded patch, properly planted with a mix of these 11 crops, will produce enough greens to supplement 2 to 3 salads per week continuously through the growing season. That's real food from space you considered useless. Now scale it. Turn a shaded fence line into a vertical pea and lettuce wall. Convert the strip beside your house into a continuous chard and sorrel harvest. Layer shade-tolerant crops beneath your taller sun crops, tomatoes shading bok choy, corn shading radishes. This is called companion stacking, and it doubles your total garden output from the same footprint. A shaded urban balcony, properly planted, can produce 40 to 60 pounds of leafy greens per growing season, from a space that most people keep empty. Start small. I know what some of you are thinking. My shade is too deep. Measure your hours of ambient light first. You may have more than you think, especially on overcast days, which still deliver diffused light that shade crops love. My soil under my tree is terrible. Yes, tree roots are aggressive. Grow your shade crops in raised beds or containers positioned in the shade zone. Problem solved entirely. Will this actually produce enough to matter? Spinach at 6 inches square per plant, radishes at 3 inches. You can fit 30 plants in a 3 by 3 foot space. Do that math. These aren't decorative plants. They are productive, nutritious food crops. They are worth every square inch. Before industrial monoculture, before the giant flat farm, before the grid row vegetable plot became the only model we could imagine, people ate from forests. The forest garden, layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, and ground crops, was the default model of food production for most of human history. In these systems, the ground layer was always in shade, and the ground layer always fed the most people. The Aztec chinampas, the Korean Huchu forest gardens, the indigenous food forests of the Pacific Northwest, all of them worked with shade. All of them were productive. We didn't abandon shade gardening because it failed. We abandoned it because industrial farming required sunlit monocultures you could drive a tractor through. The knowledge didn't disappear. It was just set aside. And it's been waiting for you to pick it back up. There's something radical about this. Every space you were told was useless isn't. The shaded corner isn't a problem, it's just a problem for the wrong plants. Change the assumptions. Change what grows. If this shifted something for you, drop a plant in the comments. And if someone you know thinks they can't grow food, send them this, because they can. They just need the right seeds. Subscribe to Peaceful Green Gardens, and let's grow something extraordinary together.